I found these jeans in an op shop, and I thought they would be good to do sort of a French style stencil on them, which I've done. I also found this sheet in an op shop, so I've been cutting out the flowers to use on this pair of jeans. Now, what I've done is I've cut up the sides of the jeans, because if you're going to sew them, you can't get in to sew them without cutting the sides. I've now cut the flowers out, and I've actually tea-dyed them, which I will show you what I did, possibly in this video or another video, I'm not sure yet. You can see against this that the color is very different. I'm going to put them on the pants like this. Actually, I'll use the other leg because it's easier, like this. And then I'm going to sew all around them. So I'm placing them on, using cut out leaves as well. And I'm just basically placing them anywhere, and then I will go back and see where I want to move things. I think I've got them just about where I want them, but I'm still going to fiddle around with them. I also forgot to tell you that I backed these flowers from the sheet because the sheet is quite flimsy, it's cotton. So I've actually backed them with a medium interfacing, just to give them a bit of strength as well. Hi, it's me again, and I thought I would take you along on the sewing of these jeans that I'm actually calling Summer in France. There's a lot of, there's 3 French stencils on it that I've done, and I'm just about to start sewing the flowers on. I've turned my sewing foot to a clear foot so I can see what I'm doing, because I've got to go around all the flowers, and I'm going to zigzag the flowers on. It helps if you turn the sewing machine on. And sometimes this is why it's easier to stick them on, because sometimes you have to just push the jeans through your sewing machine to turn them around. And if you have pins everywhere, that's when the difficulty starts. Now, unfortunately, I've got tiny little leaves as well to go around. And you only have to do a couple of zigzags when they're tiny leaves. For those who are watching who are sewers, I do have a walker foot, but I haven't learned how to put it on yet. One thing that it is worth knowing is clear your table off before you do your sewing, because these have to be turned around so many times to get to the individual edges that if you've got other things on the sewing table, it is a real pain. Mine's usually a mess, but that's what happens when you're a creative person. The other thing that you've got to do when you're doing these kind of jeans is make sure that you keep this out of the way when you're sewing, because I've sewn jeans together and I've had to unpick. When you get to the top flowers here, you need to make sure you keep the pockets out of the way as well, because people like to keep the pockets on jeans. So it's always good to keep the pockets if you can. Just got to make sure that when you turn them around, everything's nice and flat before you start sewing, and that everything is out of the way underneath. If you are liking my videos and find yourself coming back to the channel, please like, subscribe and comment, because it does help my channel.